Hi beauty babes, welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a video, a sort of a debate video. I put up a question a couple of weeks ago about how do you guys feel about makeup companies pushing launch after launch after launch even though we are in the middle of a pandemic. There have been lots and lots of arguments over what is good and what isn't good practice, basically. So I just want to state that none of these opinions are my own. These are just the opinions that I've collated from people that have commented, and also arguments that I've seen elsewhere. The arguments are obviously for and against. We're not naming any brands, we're not shaming any brands, but we have got quite a few brands that have decided not to put out any new launches because they have furloughed their staff, they have given them time off, etc., and they'll get 80% from the government. Some people are still working. It's all very over here in this country it is stay at home if you can, work from home if you can, and a lot of the time we're only supposed to be getting non-essential items, and makeup isn't essential. If you've already got makeup at home, you don't need any new makeup. But there are arguments on both sides, and you know, rightly so in any debate. The first thing I'm going to say that a lot of these companies, some of them are multi-million pound companies that are the people at the top earn a lot of money and they have an abundance of money, and then what they're doing is they're furloughing their staff and the government is paying the 80%. Some companies are furloughing some of their staff and not others, and then there's other companies that, you know, are pushing launch after launch after launch, week after week after week, and still making people want to go out and buy brand new launches. Now this is all well and good because obviously it's up to the individual whether they purchase or not. But the argument that I saw was that the warehouse staff of companies where they're still sending out the products, etc., are, although they're social distancing, they are still put at risk every day by going to work. And it could possibly be that because they've gone to work, they can pick up the virus, take it back home, and then pass it on to everybody else as well. Plus, you know, I kind of like, in this situation at the moment, I'm really not up for things being delivered because you just don't know how bad this virus is. You don't know how long the spores or whatever it is, the actual virus itself, you don't know how long it can survive. So there is that argument as well. Some people are saying, well, hang on a minute, these companies need to still make money. If they don't make money, they can't afford to pay their staff. A lot of staff, as I say, in some companies have been put on furlough already. And these are people that can actually work from home. So people that work in the office, like perhaps on, let's say, doing Facebook, doing Instagram, social media, content people, they can still work from home. They can still take photographs of products from home. They can still upload, they can still answer questions, they can still do customer service, etc. Makeup artists that can still work from home, being got rid of, been told, no job for you here now, won't be for another few months. And they are people that obviously rely on that money to pay for their mortgage, pay for their rent, etc., and they've just let them go. And I just feel like, well, why didn't they put them in furlough? Because then they could, you know, it would help them. Warehouse staff tend to be a little bit older, tend to be gentlemen, tend to be a bit older. Are they more at risk? What happens if they don't want to be on furlough? What happens if they can't afford to be on furlough because 80% is going to pay their outgoings? It's a very, very controversial debate, and you have got two sides of the story. You've got one side that are like, these companies are greedy, they're profiteering, they're making people feel like they're going to miss out on something because they're saying that products are out of stock, that they're sold out, and then later on that day they're saying, whoa, they're back in stock, not many, but we've got back in stock, and it's causing this FOMO, this fear of missing out. And it's like, well, you know, is that ethical to do that in a time where money is short? We're at home. If we're at home looking at makeup, chances are we've been furloughed and only getting 80%. We've still got to pay our bills, still got to pay our rent, etc. We haven't got that disposable income. And it's also, I mean, I know it's down to the individuals, but I've seen a massive divide on this, as in, like, the people that are for the launches and for still carrying on buying makeup, and they're very much like, well, it's down to the individual, you should be able to, it's going to cheer us up, you know, looking through the new products, cheer us up, etc. But then there's also the other side of people saying, well, why should we feel like we need to be cheered up? Why do we have to have people going to work that could be put in furlough, that are put at risk, just because we need cheering up? To me, I do have my opinions, and I'm not prepared to say what my opinion is, because this is a level right down the middle. This is one argument, this is the other argument. I'm going to see if I can bring up some of the comments actually, because there were some very valid points that I saw in the comment section. So just bear with me one moment while I try and find my comment. Okay, so I've never had an opinion. Right, this will be Carol. I have an opinion, but it probably won't be popular. It's a complex subject. I think they should slow down on new releases as a compromise. If it's the Chinese government profiteering, then stop. But China is predominantly actual people trying to get under a horrible communist regime, living in Crazyville under awful conditions. Do we remove their little livelihood they have left? Better communist dictatorships were removed. If that had happened, then the Soviets fell would have been where we are today. Okay. Okay, another 4, which is I, for one, am grateful for new releases of makeup. It keeps my mind occupied and gives me something beautiful to look at. It's up to the consumer to buy or not buy, and no one else's choice. You can't blame a brand for your choice to spend money, even if that money should have gone for something else you needed. If someone doesn't want or like how many released products come out during any time, that's perfectly okay, but don't blame a brand for being greedy for your own personal choice. I choose beauty, and that's okay too. So again, that's very much like, well, yeah, they should be carrying on. Okay, I think that if brands like Jeffree Star and Host Labs, which I think is Lady Gaga, can see it's not appropriate to release new products, then others should follow suit. Yes, it's nice to try and keep some normality, but how about YouTubers and companies make shopping your stash the new norm for now? People are struggling with money and don't know when they will next get paid. These millionaires who own these makeup brands don't have that problem. Brands should showcase their existing products that people may already own and show us how they can be utilised. Brands, show some respect and stop lining your pockets. Pay your workers to stay home safe with their families. The government has specifically said they will pay 80% of people's wages, yet you keep your warehouse open, putting workers at risk and clogging up an already pressurised delivery system. Shame on any company that doesn't value all their workers' lives. Okay, that's a fairly strong opinion, saying they shouldn't be doing it. Okay, another one. I think all companies should hold off new releases. Most big companies have held off releases while we are still in a pandemic situation. Some companies are doing tons of releases, especially over the last 5 weeks plus. Okay, understood, makeup makes people feel good for buying it. It is also a high. I'm a parent. I am at present on a no-buy, so I'm enjoying revisiting old palettes. The constant releases by some, I feel, are not as good as more the money. Hang on, let me read it again. Constant releases by some, I feel, is not good as it's more about money than anything. Stop releases while we are still in a pandemic situation. Be responsible, be caring. Okay. And another comment, since the quarantine, I have not bought anything new. It makes you realise what is important in this present moment. Makeup you put on, you take off. When you have family not able to feed themselves or children, I think when we come out of this, I hope people can prioritise their life and finances, also the mental health of children and adults. I couldn't agree more on that. That is just absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. There is another comment that I found, and it just says, wonder who the culprit is. Yeah. As I said, this is not aimed at anybody in particular. So what are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you feel like makeup brands should still be pumping out release after release after release after release several times a week? Or do you feel that, like Jeffree Star has done the right thing by saying to his staff, I'm going to pay you in full, go home, we're going to stop trying to make new releases, we're going to wait until this is over. Your staff are more important. The livelihoods of people are hanging in the balance. I know that there are quite a few companies that can afford to do it. And as I said, the government is given 80% to furlough the staff. They could top up the wages if they wanted to. But please let me know what your opinion is, because it is very, very divided. And it's, as I said, it's not aimed at any one brand in particular. It is just a debate. You know, yes, we like to see new makeup. We are makeup junkies, are we not? We love it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here watching this with me. But do you think that we need to slow down on the new releases and put people first? Even though we're being told that their safety is a main issue and they're putting social distancing in place, do you think that they should be still going to work? Or do you think that, you know, we have to put them people's first, their health first over profit? Let me know what you think, guys, because it's a really interesting argument, and I have seen many, many answers on other pages that have asked the same question on Instagram. And it's funny because I actually put this question up quite a while ago, near the beginning of the pandemic, and yeah, I'm only now doing a video on it, but it's because I want to get a response from you guys. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I will talk to you in the next video. Now, I will say, please do not swear in your comments. Please be respectful to other people in your comments. No arguing. If there's any profanities or whatever, they won't show up anyway. But please do not use any bad language. Please respect one another, because we are all entitled to our own opinion. And just because your opinion might not be the same as my opinion, it doesn't mean to say that I'm not going to talk to you anymore. If you see where I'm coming from. I'm Switzerland in this. I am neutral. I have my opinion, but I am not stating how I feel about it. I just want to know what you guys think. So anyway, see you in the next video, guys. Take care for now, keep safe, and yeah, keep watching. Bye. Bye. Mwah.